Hey everyone, welcome back. I have my mustache. I'm trying to grow out this. If you can see it, you probably can't because it's not very good. But um, I'm trying out. I'm trying out a new look. So, welcome back. Recently, I have been thinking about this idea that we create the world that we live in. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean the world that we all see, like the world proper that we see going on around us all the time. Some of it that may affect us, some of it may not. But I'm talking about the world that we create, our own world. That can include yourself, your family, your friends, your work friends, your job, your relationships. I'm talking about that kind of world. And I think there's something deeply profound about that statement if we really sit and ponder it for a while. Like we have the power to create our own world, and we are actively creating our own world every day. For most of my life, I would say that I've been a bit of a pessimist. I can be a negative Nancy at times, and so every day I wake up and I can choose to have that mindset, and I can create a world around me that is focused on negative things, that has an overarching theme of pessimism and wondering when the next thing is going to go wrong, or why I don't have this, or why I don't have that. Well, why is the world like this, or why is this person treating me like that, or why is my job going like this? And I constantly repeat these things in my head over and over and over again. And I have come to find out that I'm creating this world that is filled with pessimism and negativity. But when you really realize that, like, you have the choice, you have the power to create your own world, you can do the flip side of that. You can choose to press into gratefulness. I can choose to press into gratefulness, into beauty, into goodness that is out there. And I'm not trying to say that negative things or bad things don't happen, because we see that every day. Like, all you have to do is scroll on TikTok or watch the news. Like, there's some bad stuff going on around the world. And this is not to minimize any of that. But I'm talking about the world that each and every one of us has. We all have our own world, our own bubble, and that we choose to create, and we get to be the creators of that world. How are we going to behave? How are we going to act? How are we going to treat others? What are the words that we're going to use? And I think there's something incredibly beautiful and freeing about that we have that choice to create. And I've been saying this for years. Human beings are meant to create. That is what we're meant to do. It doesn't always necessarily have to be in an artistic way or like a digital way like this. It can be from what we make in the morning. You wake up in the morning, you make scrambled eggs, potatoes, whatever it may be, cereal. I don't know. Like, you're taking something, you're creating it, and that's what you're having for breakfast. Like, the choices that you make, you are creating your own world. So a lot of the times I would sit and I would wrestle with myself, and I would question myself, like, why am I so negative? Why am I always focused on negativity? Well, it's because that's what I've trained my brain to do. I seek out negativity because I've seen it in the news. I've seen it on social media. And so when your brain starts to think about that kind of stuff, it's going to start seeing more negativity. So if you start focusing on negative and pessimistic ways of thinking, your brain is just going to be trained to think that way. But on the flip side of that, you can train your brain to be thinking in ways of gratefulness and joy and goodness. And that's the kind of person that I want to be. Like, I want to be the kind of person that is creating pockets of goodness everywhere that I go. So every day when I wake up, I want to be able to see the good in today. I want to be grateful for what I have. And most importantly, I want to be joyful. And I think that word joyful has kind of just become synonymous with happy. And for a long time, my feelings wheel has considered of happy, sad, hungry, and tired. I would say is tired as an emotion. And anytime someone would ask me about if I'm joyful, it would normally fit into, am I happy? That's how I would take that question. And if I was feeling not happy, I would say, no, I'm not joyful because I'm sad or I'm mad. I'm not feeling very joyful right now. And it was always synonymous with happy. But I've come to find out that joy can encompass all of our emotions. I think joy is the foundation of our emotions, and it can hold happiness and it can hold despair. It can hold jubilance and it can hold grief. It can hold a whole spectrum of emotions. Like I think joy is the foundation of everything. So you can be happy and joyful, and you can also be in despair and joyful. While things are happening in life, yes, some may be not so great, but we're joyful because of the life that we have, this life that we get to experience, and this life that we get to create. And we can be happy and joyful. And I think there's goodness that can come out of both. But it takes a lot of practice to become the type of person that is aware of their negative tendencies, or even aware that they are creating their own world. Like I think it's so easy for us just to become almost like robots, where we just do the same thing every day. Sometimes we eat the same thing. We drive the same way home. We drive the same way to work. We shop at the same stores. But really, we have the power to create our own world. And that's the kind of person I want to be. I want to be the kind of person that is aware of the world that they're creating. And I want it to be one that is focused on goodness and beauty and joy. And maybe this will be a wake-up call. Maybe this will spark you to be aware that you can create your own world. You choose how you see the world. And you choose how your world is going to be. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that people are not going to affect your world. Your friends, your family, of course, those people are creating their own worlds, and they're choosing their own actions, and it can affect you for sure. But then also, I think you too have the power to choose how you're going to react to those things. And yeah, we create our own world. I think there's just something deeply profound about that. And it's truly helping me to ask better questions and see how I am being in the world. How am I showing up in the world? How am I being in the world? And I hope with practice that it becomes that I'm showing up and seeing goodness, that I'm showing up and seeing joy and beauty in the everyday stuff of life. That's ultimately my hope. And that's the person I want to be. And so maybe this YouTube endeavor is me exploring that and continue to grow and find out more about myself and continue to build to a place where I am choosing those things every day. I'm not saying I'm not there now, not even close. But I want to be aware of it, and I want to be mindful of it, and I want to continue chasing it because we ultimately create the world we're in. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share today, and hopefully you can take something from it. If not, totally cool. But yeah, thanks for watching.